And we'll start in a comfortable seat. I have that folded blanket underneath me to elevate the hips in line with the knees. And finding that you are finding that length through the crown of the head, shoulders relax down, away from the ears and maybe a little bit further back, feeling that openness through the chest. If we've been like this lately, you may feel that shift and that change just by sitting up a little bit straighter. We'll have our arms to start just in our lap, palms down to ground us a little bit more. And closing the eyes, there's nothing to see on screen, just listening to my voice. Welcome yourself to your breath, to your body, maybe for the first time today. Notice how you feel, how you really feel. Is the breath uneven? Is it fast paced? Is it very shallow and just in the chest? Try to bring the breath down and deepen the breath, letting it come from the belly. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling and sighing out the mouth. Noticing maybe the shoulders start to relax down by themselves. Just letting yourself be still. There is still movement with the breath. And the mind may be racing the thought to thought. Once you find that stillness, noticing the thoughts like clouds in the sky, just letting them pass by. And focusing on the sky itself, that vastness. Maybe the sun is shining in to your space. I can see rays on the screen in front of me. Maybe that's bringing a little bit of warmth into your space. I also have tea, warm tea. That can be a way to bring in that heat and that warmth without having to incorporate a vinyasa class in the evening. And you can open the eyes just to see the mudra I want to offer. You'll hold the thumbs up and then curl the fingers in, and the middle knuckles are going to lightly press together. The bottom of the bases of the thumb press together. And holding this in line of the navel. The forearms pressing, into the stomach, next to the body, nice and relaxed. The thumbs relax upward and pressing into each other. This may be energizing in itself, bringing the energy from the root chakra up into the solar plexus above the navel, in line of where the hands are. This is the gesture of the fist for cultivating that spiritual discipline and that tapas. Taking a few natural but even breaths here to attune to how this mudra feels, any sensations or feelings that arise. And that solar plexus, again above the belly button, that chakra is the center of personal power and energy, which tapas kind of lies. Visualize that source of energy as a flame that burns away all obstacles along your spiritual journey or your practice, yoga, meditation. Maybe reflecting on any doubt, resistance, distraction, laziness that keeps you from practicing with discipline and consistency. And with your inhale, sense that inner flame, that inner light, maybe as bright as that sun coming into your space, growing so bright. And then as you exhale, sense that everything that's keeping you or blocking you, letting that burn away. Think of it as that inner purification, that cleanse. Inhale that flame, that inner light glowing and growing brighter. And then everything on your exhale, release what is no longer serving you, letting it all burn away. And this may cause some discomfort or feeling agitated or frustrated, but that is okay. That is bringing those feelings up to the surface. So you may recognize them and then let them go. So being here for a few more moments, noticing anything bubbling up to the surface. And create that intention to release what is no longer serving you for this practice. Carrying this intention with you off of the mat later. Discipline at all levels of being provides a firm foundation for your spiritual journey. We'll dive deeper into that, moving into our practice. Taking a few more breaths with this mudra, with that intention. And slowly release the hands down. And we'll start our practice with a shared breath, taking a deep inhale in through the nose. And exhale, let it go out the mouth. Slowly open up the eyes, coming back to your space. We'll just rock back to unwind the legs, taking them the opposite way. Readjusting. Bring the hands in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra. Deep inhale in and out. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, look up. Exhale, release your right hand down, reach up and over with the left. Trying to keep that left hip down, reach the fingers, breathe into that left rib cage. Release that left ear down to that, or right ear to right shoulder. Inhale to rise up, keeping that head tilted to the side. This left arm, the fingers can hover, drawing circles one way or the other. You can bring the fingers down, walk them away, or you can bind that arm behind the back. And then taking this right arm, taking that palm to the side of the head to add a little bit more weight against gravity. Letting go of any tension in the neck, the shoulders. You can stay still or rock the head forward and back. And slowly release the chin down, release the hands. You can let the head hang or rock side to side. Inhale to lift the gaze up. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, the left hand down, reach up and over with the right. Releasing that left ear. Inhale to rise up. And taking a variation with the arms here. Anything that feels right. And slowly release that. You can make full circles with the nose if that feels okay, or let it hang forward. See what feels right, where you're holding that tension. It'll be different day to day. Inhale to lift the gaze. Reach the arms up. And then exhale, take a seated twist to the right, twisting in the torso, keeping the legs how they are. You can grab the right knee with the left hand, right fingertips behind, looking over your right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, bring the arms down and behind. Take an interlace behind, or take a strap or something you can use as a strap if you can't make that interlace. Maybe holding on to a blanket or clothing. This chance to correct the posture, maybe lift the gaze, squeeze the shoulder blade together, puff up the heart. And exhale, release. We'll rock back. Feel free to plant the feet, rock them side to side. And setting up for our first pose, supported child's pose. You can have a blanket underneath the knees. You can prop up the cushion or the bolster underneath the end farthest from you. You can have it flat on the mat. You can prop up one end. You can stack as many things in front of you to your preference. You're gonna bring that in between the wide knees, in between the thighs, and you can take anything to rest your cheek on. You can even take something for in between the legs. And you're going to fold forward, bringing your whole torso down onto the support, letting yourself completely let go. Arms are relaxed. And cheek to one side. I will tell you to turn the cheek the other way, so picking one. And allowing yourself to completely get heavy here. Let the breath be slow and steady. Focusing on that natural rhythm to help you feel present in your body, feeling grounded and connected to your center, definitely during these chaotic times. It is the times of hopeless desperation that shape and mold us into someone of depth. Tapas involves disciplined action to cause positive change. Practicing helps us weaken suffering and puts us more in touch with our inner light of awareness. you haven't already, turning your gaze the opposite way. That discomfort that we feel when we try to change a habit or start something new, a new discipline, new challenge, a new way of life, that discomfort arises and creates that heat. That's also an example of that heat in the body, that heat of tapas. And this idea that that heat will burn of the physical, mental, emotional impurities, leaving the physical, mental, emotional, and spirit bodies clean and clear. So that discomfort is key and is expected. In a pose, um, safely, you're usually coming to your edge when you feel something in like a wind class, um, or that stretch in a gentle or hatha class, or even in hatha you can take that heat with the breath by holding the pose longer. Vinyasa is that continuous flow and that movement. That discomfort is good for us. We know we are going through change and transformation. And that heat, that discomfort can be our fuel, our efforts to continue practicing our tapas to cause positive change. And from here, slowly start to press yourself up and away from that support. Spin to one side, maybe starting on the side facing me, and bring the legs into this gear shape. We're going to set up for this supported upper body twist. Feel free to grab anything to pad in between legs. You can keep that other blanket underneath the hips. You have that there. Anything you want underneath the cheek. You can lower or raise the support. You're going to bring one hand on each side, spinning in the torso. Before you fold, inhale through and head down that way. And exhale, slowly lower down to the torso, who's facing that support. The legs can be more stacked, or the top leg can move further back behind you. That will create a nice gentle stretch here. Arms relax shoulders down and wrapping around. And without glasses, you can relax the gaze either way, portions or away. And again, getting heavy and letting go here. So opening the back of the body, now finding that twist, opening the side body. We'll do this on both sides, so it does not matter what side you start on. It is suggested in the yamas and the niyamas and the 8 limbs of yoga, suggesting to embrace all of life's experiences as a means of purification, whether pleasant or unpleasant. Another theme, santosha, not letting yourself get too elevated when things go well or too low when things don't go the way that you want, and seeing each thing as a lesson. It's also embracing tapas, that accept challenges while being loving and compassionate to all, especially ourselves. And trying to incorporate these practices and these themes and these ideas into our life, not just ceremonially separate. Our yoga practice or meditation practice and our everyday life, we want to weave them together. Living with zeal and serenity, the purifying flame is ignited, revealing the inner light. Slowly turn your gaze towards your knees if you had them the opposite way. Using your hands to slowly press yourself up. Taking a moment when you rise up. And then slowly spinning to the other side. Setting up anyway, again, knees stacked or more of that top leg behind you. Spinning towards that support. Taking a pause, taking one deep breath here. And then exhale to fold. Anyway, with the gaze. Every shape that we take should be comfortable. There should be no pinching or pain. Making any adjustments that you need. If you're cold, feel free to cover yourself up with a blanket or add an extra layer. Living tapas, you are like a burning arrow, swift and direct in reaching your goals. With single-pointed focus, you burn away everything in the way of your achievement. Consumed by the fire within, you are disciplined in overcoming destructive desires. You are strong enough to combat negative forces and strive past all obstacles in your path to victory. So with that passion, what do you want to work towards? What do you want to cultivate or manifest? What is standing in your way? And sometimes that's us. We are standing in our own way. But in bringing that to the forefront, noticing that, having that mindfulness is the first step. And that may be uncomfortable to admit, but admitting that can help you take that step further, step forward. Slowly start to press yourself up, taking your time. And spinning away from the bolster. And yogi's choice to recline back with the legs long. I suggest rolling something up from underneath the knees. Keep the knees supported. You can also come into bound angle or butterfly, bringing the soles of the feet together. And then to hold the feet there, either supporting the knees with blankets or blocks, or wrapping a long blanket from the front around the ankles, bringing them underneath and pulling the ends in towards you, making it tight. And reclining back. Now opening through the chest and the shoulders, down and wrapping around, arms out to the side. If the arms just hang, you can use blankets to prop up the forearms on each side, try to make it symmetrical. You can have something over the waist, the weighted blanket that's comforting and grounding. Noticing if you're gripping in the face or the jaw, trying to let that all go. Allowing yourself to relax, giving yourself permission to let go. Let the props hold you up and together. There's some days that we don't get to the mat, or we're not very happy that we're gonna do yoga or meditate, and it takes our whole being to unroll the mat, or even if it wasn't shelter in place, to get into your car and get to the yoga studio. So trying to find that little bit of motivation, that is also tapas. That inner motivation that gets us to the yoga mat day after day is the same discipline and determination that fires us up about our goals and our dreams. Tapas needs to burn brightly within us if we are to achieve anything more than maybe a little light exercise. Helps us through the uncomfortable sensations, motivates us to try different things, and pulls in the reins when we become a little bit full of ourselves, or maybe about to hurt ourselves by letting the ego take control. Trying to ignite a little bit more self-awareness, inner peace, and greater oneness with ourselves. Also can help us get unstuck when we feel like we're in a rut. Example is when you're in a restorative class, we do hold these poses for a while, and even sitting at the beginning of our practice today, our mind wants to race. And maybe you're not accustomed to meditation, or it's a new practice for you, but a lot can go on in that sitting still. The mind may think that it's bored and try to protest or daydream or go through your to-do list. And the body gets restless and wants to move, shift, or stretch or do something. But you can use this restlessness, this desire to get up and do anything but sitting still, to get that spark, to ignite that flame, and to figure out what that passion is, that internal motivation. Sometimes that stillness gives us that clarity that we're looking for. Taking your time, we'll transition out of this slowly. If your feet were in butterfly, you can slowly extend them long for a moment. Flexing toes, rotating ankles. And then you can use your hands to slowly rise up. We're simply going to spin and bring our legs up the bolster. You will have a choice to stay here for the remainder of class, and I will prompt anyone that wants to come out and come into a different shape for Shavasana to do so. But coming into this supported lazy bones or a kind of a goat pose, gently relaxing the legs up. If you're having trouble keeping the legs up, that support, you can swaddle the legs in a blanket or use a strap around the legs. You can cover yourself up with a blanket. You can have something over the waist again. I have something underneath my head. Arms wherever they feel comfortable. I like to offer this versus legs up the wall. Not everyone is comfortable being 90 degrees or even at an angle against the wall. This is a chance to get that effect between our legs and our feet that break. Also giving us a sense of clarity on maybe what is blocking us, or that obstacle that we need to get over to ignite that inner light, that inner flame. This is very relaxing. So again, when I offer that option to move, feel free to stay exactly where you are. The breath is the only movement you should feel. Being more accepting and calm in this moment. That fist mudra that we made at the beginning of class is that symbol of determination to attain that spiritual freedom through that discipline. That upward thumbs is symbolizing the fire element, the inner heat that supports that transformation. And that breath and awareness again in the solar plexus, above the belly button, below the breastbone, the core of who we are. This gesture kind of supports that digestion of thought. So that's kind of where our stomach is, our digestive tract. So it optimizing the physical digestion, and then the digestion of thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that may limit us or obstruct us. And trying to open and activate that personal power, that willpower, to get us closer to our spiritual transformation, our spiritual awakening. Feel free to stay exactly where you're at, with legs up the bolster. If you would like to move, simply just move the legs to one on each side, move the support, and maybe turning the bolster across the mat so you can have that underneath the knees, moving any blocks out of the way, and staying on your back. There's a poem by Rumi about that inner light. Do not feel lonely. The entire universe is inside you. Stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. Set your life on fire. Seek those who fan your flame. Slowly start to come back to your space, your breath, and your body. Bringing movement into your fingers and toes. Reaching the arms up and overhead, taking a full body stretch. And slowly start to bring the legs, the knees in towards the chest. Making your way to one side. The right side is a little bit more energizing. The left is more relaxing. Pausing here to notice how your practice had an effect on you, how you feel versus when you first came to your mat. What has inspired you? What have you ignited within? What have you received clarity on, and what may be preventing you from moving forward? We take this theme of tapas to burn away the impurities that and create that inner purification moving forward. And allow yourself to slowly come up to a seat, moving slowly. And taking the hands on the solar plexus, again, above the belly button, one hand on top of each other. Closing the eyes and just maybe there's a sense of warmth here. Feeling the rise and fall of the belly with the breath. Giving yourself gratitude for taking time out of your evening for yourself. Even noticing how the breath has shifted. Maybe the breath is down into the belly, first being up into the chest. And keep the hands in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra. We'll seal our practice with a shared breath. Take a deep inhale in through the nose. And exhale out the mouth, audible sigh. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. From my heart to yours. Namaste.